yourself in a little bit of an audio loop there.
Yeah. I love the audio loops, mate.
Aye.
Are you on yet?
It's just establishing the stream now, and I should be live from now on.
Hello guys, welcome to the channel once again. It's Andy on Twitch and Dodge on YouTube.
Aye. Well, what are we doing today?
Well, today Andy has gone into full potato hobby butterfly mode.
And that is why we have a late start.
Yeah, because GW have weird open times, and I went into GW with the unit of Havocs, what I hadn't even touched, and exchanged them for the Grey Knight Combat Patrol. And now I'm just nosing through the kit, well, just the Terminators at the minute, to figure out how I'm going to make a Librarian look cooler.
Because it's all about the Grey Knights now.
Yeah. But I am going to, I have made a decision to restrict my spending.
Ooh, spending restrictions.
Yeah. To like one kit a month or something like that, so I don't go overboard.
Yeah. Oh, I have to start buying some more kits just so I can get things the way I want them to.
Yep.
I'm not sure exactly which project I'm doing on YouTube today. Sort of a bit of a scatterbrain today, especially with the late start.
Yeah, the late start I do apologise for, but
yeah, no worries.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I guess to the point where my brain's like, are we on or are we off? And then the brain's like, what am I actually doing with the day? And then, right. Some of these have got some good poses for my units and knobs, but the sculpting is so terrible. It's like really, really old school sculpting. And the work's just not as good as it should be. I think originally this was going to be a Warg banner, but I have a character somewhere for Warg banner, and he should be, is it blue? Blue is for knobs.
He's got blue knobs.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
You don't want a blue knob. That is, oh wait, is that my Warg banner guy? Yes it is. I might have a muck around with him. Also, there's that many knobs on my desk because I was starting to count up how many I've got. Apparently, it's 40-something knobs.
That's a little bit excessive, my friend.
It might be, but you know, I used to run a very knob-heavy army during 7th, I believe, and 8th, because that was doable. You could take them as troop choices. So why would I not just have a knob-heavy army?
Rule 34 would have a field day with that sentence.
Not, yeah, it would actually. Like the initial start up, they're not too bad, but I was trying to put the Plague Bearer parts in these very square knob designs, and as we've seen, the knobs are out of stock online for Games Workshop. So now in my luck, they're getting reboxed in a new kit. So what I can at least do, using some of these knobs as inspiration, is start working on Morak, my Warg banner, and actually do a bit of sculpting today maybe. But he shares the same parts, so he's in the same box for organising. So
he's also well on his way, isn't he?
Yeah, he's well on his way. I got a good start on him.
So have you shown the camera that massive cannon dude?
The massive cannon dude. Oh, that's my Badrook conversion.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Badrook. Boom. That's the start. The gun, as usual, is made of about
a jillion parts.
Yep. I want to attach a chain to the top of the gun when it's finished to the back of his armour to help it look a bit more like he's able to carry the damn thing.
Probably need a set of wheels for it then.
Oh, as a tripod with 2 little wheels.
Yeah.
That'd be handy. Okay, these bits I don't want to mix up just yet, because they're from the fantasy kit, and I'm going to turn some of those into my knobs with sculptures, which are also currently in this Warg Decay. They are called the Blight Brigade, because the idea was they didn't use flamethrowers, they just spray you with corrosive diseases, gunk that they carry around on their backpacks. And there goes a phone. It's all happening today, isn't it?
Yep.
Right, so let's pull that out of the way. So handy having all my bits at the side of my desk. These are also knobs on sprue, a whole lot of knobs on sprue, and the fantasy bits as well. So I'll put those back away temporarily. I've also got these cool parts from Maxi Minis that would be really good for my like Blight Brigade.
Max Mini, are they still in business?
I hope so, because I want some more of them parts.
Yeah, I think they are.
I hope so.
They have some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Cromlech's got some cool.
Yeah, Cromlech do some nice parts as well. There's a lot of good aftermarket part places.
Aye. Really? How did these fit in here before and then now they don't fit? It's always the case with sprue, and you have to lay them just the right way so they.
Yeah, has to be just so.
That's just made life a bit more awkward for me. They won't go back in the drawer. I have been trying to, for a while, the plan was to scale up my knobs and all my other bits of unit, just to make them look a bit more unique and a bit more menacing.
Hello to you who's just joined us on channel, on Twitch. Say hi to us so we know who you are. We love people being involved in the chat. Hopefully some of our regulars will join as well. It's great to see old and new faces. Unless that's Jen, in which case, say hi anyway.
He did have legs in here. Bet they've ended up in a different box. Okay, so the current design of Morak with well, basically the older and the more important one of the orcs in my army is, the more times the Pain Boss and the Bigmeks done some work on them.
Because it keeps having to stitch them back together.
Yeah. Which was a really, this is how I came up with the concept of having my knob bikers not even having legs anymore. I was just having tracks because it was getting to the point, why bother, just attach them to the bike.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of okay sculpting done in here. This was well before I started doing any of the sculpting tools. I love the eye patch on this one. I think that really adds a bit of character to him. And currently the arms are just blue tacked on. Now he did have some legs, which was what I was going to work on today.
How to use them.
We've got a good start
legs
on the gun, which is a what was it? The Warg banner has. It's just a custom big shooter, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got a good start on the custom big shooter as well. So this character is on its way to being done. So if I can dig out some legs for him, I think I'm going to remove a couple, or at least one of his legs, and
Sounds painful.
Yeah, build something, so it looks like it's been cobbled back together. One of the bio legs or something like that. I would have preferred it if I could have made my Warg banner have some kind of scorcher, but the Warg banner counts as it used to count as a two-handed weapon anyway, so I wasn't able to do that. And Lord Tattoo says, "Afternoon, lads."
Afternoon.
Right. How's it going, mate? We're just getting settled in now, and the live stream's getting started up. As disorganised as usual.
Yeah, we can't be professional. Come on, we'd be lying to ourselves.
Aye, right. Let's have a look in this knob box, because there's got to be some. It's going to be ogreing legs I'm looking for. What kind of pose was I like?
Let's just remind me.
I know for a fact I'm going to get all this done, and then Games Workshop's going to bring out a bunch of knobs that are bigger. It's Lord Tattoo in both of the live streams. It'd be nice just to get a character done. It does take some time. It's a bit of a mess, this gun, compared to my modern standards. And he says, Lord Tattoo says, "I'm good, yourselves?" Yeah, besides the late start, which is always a bit of a mental throw-off for me. Autism, it's like, yeah, things need to be organised and done in the right way. And then the ADD side of my brain will be like, screw routine. Right, we got...
Screw you, me!
Pretty much. Right, I'm just going to cut these sprues off here. So, when Andy's not here, I spend a lot of time, as you guys know, that are
Drunk.
regular. Well, yeah, either drunk in the garden or drunk in the garden.
That's pretty much it, isn't it?
I'm usually drunk somewhere.
Maybe drunk on the way to the garden.
That's also a possibility. Right, is that all 3 variants? No, that looks like that is the same legs. There's another variant in here somewhere. What was I saying? Yeah, so like random bird report. Right, we've gone from, I was telling you back in the day I had the bird feeder, but then I put the table on it and I started getting pigeons in. And then we moved the table with the bird feeders hanging underneath it to the other side, and it was still a pigeon, which we've named Dave. But recently, it's gone off the charts with all the bird activity.
Oh, cool.
Yesterday we had the blackbirds in the garden hopping around while we're there, a group of sparrows, some tits, finches, and the blackbirds. And considering you've seen how close it is to the sofa or the chair that we sit on.
Yeah.
Yeah, considering that's quite a lot of bird activity considering how close we are.
Proximity, yeah.
How many of these have I purchased over the years?
All of them, I should imagine.
All of them. Yeah, probably. Never enough bits for this army though. Screw all the guys on eBay that separate everything into little bits now instead of large bits boxes. You guys suck.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, if you want to sell bits, why don't you just invest loads in kits and then sell them like bits box do ass hats. Oh, I don't know why you're in there. I've got some cool designs for my other weird boy actually. His parts are around somewhere. It is nice to sit and actually go through my bits here and start working on my own army. Because I actually get to enjoy have the passion for it, I guess. Right. What kind of stance do I want? I'm also going to have to shorten these legs. Shouldn't be too hard if I make a custom leg for him. Some of this is going to have to come off either of them, because of the way that's built. This torso is actually this bit of torso is from one of the Blight Lords, I think. The one who has the axe stood in front of him. The single fig, I can't remember his name. So obviously I've tried to green stuff some shirt on there so it looks a bit more smooth and a bit like it's just ragged and ripped. But what else can we do to him? I want him chock full of details, as you will with a character.
So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to give this librarian a cooler weapon, because a force staff, boring. Force halberd is cool.
So Andy has decided to pick up some loyalist scum.
Yeah. It's about time I played some good guys again. Say good guys, quote unquote.
Yeah, Grey Knights it is then apparently. At least you don't have to buy too many models.
No. And they are, at least they are the only Imperial faction with an honest agenda.
How so?
Well, they are quite honest about the fact that their purpose is to stop the universe falling to chaos.
Rather than other legions that just don't care and break all the rules.
Yeah, they just go, right, we need to stop the entire universe getting dragged into the warp in any way possible.
Okay.
So actually, I'm going to keep that one. That's going to go in.
I could try and pin some stuff, but I tried to use the drill yesterday, and I had one of those moments where like, I'm going to drop this in a sec, and did. And when it was in the air, I'm like, that's going to snap the bloody drill bit.
And it did?
And it did.
Good effort.
A self-fulfilling prophecy.
I knew this was going to happen, and it did.
Yeah. I knew I was going to get drunk, and then I did.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think I want to make his
You know what,
arms
I'm
look
gonna
a bit
swatch it.
bulkier by pinning them a little bit further out, just to buff him up even more.
Have you got the drill?
Yes, I've replaced the bit, but it's a bit larger than usual. So, where we have the Imperial symbol,
I'm going to have to keep
Ogren arm,
him stock for now, I think.
I'm going to sculpt the arm back in with stitching across it, because, as I was saying earlier, the more important and the older the characters are, the more they've been rebuilt by the paint boss. Which is going to be a constant theme with this. Now, which leg would I like to have robotic? Right, that is... Oh, it's not even it's only been blue tacked on, that's handy. So that still gives me room to move that around. We did a bit of work on the Defcopter the other day. Not Defcopter, on the Def Dread. His crazy right arm should have a template on that as well, something to build onto, made of green stuff. 40mm base for this guy, isn't it? For the Warg banner?
Yeah, it will be a character, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be able to fit him on one of them.
You're going to have to.
I'll make it work. Alright.
He's overhanging it, but he's on a 40mm.
Which side do I want the leg to be messed up on? Because he's going to have the Warg banner in this hand. So that'll
that
be...
arm, that side then. Because then he can use it as a walking stick.
Maybe. I did have parts for the Warg banner, or I was at least starting to design some. Initially it was going to be like a Nurgle symbol made of... I've got a lighter. I've got a couple. Whether or not they work, there's a constant problem with anyone who smokes. 50 lighters, none of them work. Yes. The first thing I did obviously was just take all these bits out of this plastic bag, because I bag all my bits up just to keep things safe, and for some reason I still can't find the initial banner I was working on. Yay. I've been trying to make my own symbol that I can carry along with the entire army, which I think could just add something and make it look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to want a robotic foot of some kind. So instead of sculpting one, if I could find something. That's a bit too much. Doesn't mean the parts can't be salvaged from it though. As I need to scratch build at least one leg. The other arm.
I just love it when the glue works.
Which glue is it?
Poly. Don't even want to come out.
Ah. You'll have to burn it at both ends.
I have done.
Alright. I've got bits I can use for the banner. So basically I was thinking of doing something a lot like this symbol, but with 3 tyres and then pipes coming out of it.
So like the Nurgle symbol, but with car tyres.
Yeah, and initially it had pipes coming out either side like this for the Warg banner, which I thought would be cool because a lot of the stuff will be moving quite fast. Because one of the other concepts was to have them a lot of fast attacks like the bikes, etc.
Some kind of slow speed walk.
Yeah, slow speed war, just to be weird. They're slow and cumbersome, and also super fast. Makes complete sense.
Why not? It's your army, do what you want.
I am not sure where the other parts have gone. This is... Right. Well, I've got a left hand, that's a start. And hello to everybody just joining the live stream now. If you want to check out what Andy's doing on the desk, if you sign in to Twitch, link in the description, and just mute one of the audios, you can have both screens up and watch both live streams at once, which is always nice. Plus you can troll Andy on the chat,
which is always an option.
It's a good option, I highly recommend it.
Not necessarily my favourite one.
Right, that will work, but it's going to need a bit more doing to that, I think. Got to get the scale right. So I think today I should focus on getting him some legs so I can at least stand him up for you guys. obviously Ogren legs are a bit wide. So there'll be a lot of me filing bits off here, I think. Just makes him look a little bit too tall.
Hey, Disco Magma. We're good, mate. Thanks for joining on with us. How's you, buddy?
How's it going, Disco? Right, I'm going to... Lord Tayo says, cheap Matchbox monster truck.
Right,
For
could
the
actually
wheels.
work.
Yeah. The way he is sat with these legs look the most like that's going to be an easy conversion for the scale. The way it looks like he's sat into his legs. So I think what I'll do is I'll start figuring that out, bonding those together, and then start figuring out what I'm going to do with this part of the leg as well. So
Disco Magma's just said, all good, thanks. He's just painting the Loon Shrine. Good to see you getting on with it. I'm currently starting yet another hobby project. This time it's Grey Knights. So I've gone loyal.
Splitter!
Splitter! I'm going loyal this time because I've got a very interesting playstyle. They're hopping about with all the deep strikes and that.
That did actually, when you told me that made me want to play. It just reminds me of all the shenanigans in Magic the Gathering with a blue deck. It's just like, you want to do this, I'm going to make life as awkward as I possibly can.
They sound like a lot of fun and quite engaging. I
hope this is not overpowering the microphones, guys. Yeah, they do sound like, tactically you can have a lot of fun, and trolling your opponent,
yeah,
that's always a laugh.
Generally being awkward. So yeah, that's the current project.
I'll be done with this in a sec, Andy.
Yeah, no problem, mate.
I'm just looking at the microphone. That's in the green, it's not too loud.
Yeah, it's just the nature of having to do these things. It's like when I've got, sometimes we have to use air dryers and that.
Aye. We're still going to need to pull that further forward, or I can build something on his back as well. Bearing in mind these guys, well, this guy, to have a warg banner, it must be pretty important, so he's going to have to have been sewn back together countless times. I actually did a lot of in-depth fluff for this, if you remember.
You did really think about it.
Okay, so I can quite easily make the stomach blend around that a bit more. Maybe I'll lower it down and then fill that in, because it sits a little bit better there. If I bond it to the back of here, so that it will bond there. Does that look scale wise? How's that looking? I'm kind of liking that. And if anything mucks up, I can always cut the shoes off and re-angle the feet. Anything to make more work for myself. That'll work. Right. Now to get the stance right. So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to bond this to a base temporarily, so I can stand it up myself and have a look. We've got a crappy base somewhere. I don't suppose there's a 40mm lying around, is there?
Yes.
Yeah, Games Workshop.
Yeah.
Cheers, bro. Right. 40mm.
So all I'm doing here is just getting them loosely put together. I'm not going to do full
poly.
Yeah. If you can get it out with the tube.
With the tube.
Yeah. You'll be lucky.
Alright, I'll get it done.
So I'm not doing full builds on these guys for now, for painting purposes mainly.
Sub-assembly?
Yeah, kind of partial assembly more than sub-assembly. If that makes any sense.
Wouldn't it be the same?
Probably
It sounds
fundamentally
like
the
it was
same,
with different
yeah.
words, yeah. some of the models Games Workshop do, some of the areas that you can't paint in properly, it's a nightmare. I was doing that large ogre tyrant, ogre more tribes, and there's a bit, once you put them together in the back, you just cannot get the brush in there for the back of his cloak.
Yeah. And they do a lot of it with models, and they also make it in such a way that you can't not put them together. It's like, oh god.
Especially with the new stuff, how it's interlocks.
Yeah, interlocking plates
Right.
and panels.
A little bit of glue there. It's only a temporary fix anyway, just so we can.
Oh, you got the tube working, did you?
Aye, pure skills, mate. The problem with this army is the ideas are all in my head, but they never get finished.
No.
I mean, really, I've been enjoying the live stream though, guys. Just the opportunity to work on my own stuff.
Yeah, it's just a nice opportunity to just hang out, do stuff, and chew the fat.
Right, that's only a temporary bond there anyway, hopefully. That way I can see how he will stand. The shoes will be getting more orky, the legs will be getting more detail work put on them. But with the way I go about things, it's I wonder if I bother buying any parts at all instead of just trying to sculpt it all from scratch. But if I could do that, I definitely would.
Well, yeah, but we wouldn't be doing this if you could.
I could definitely spend a bunch of hours sculpting. No
Yeah.
problems.
It'd be, but we wouldn't be doing this live streaming like for if you could.
No.
I don't want to do a Dread Knight.
I'm not looking forward to sculpting the rest of the chains around his waist, but that's a problem for later on. Alright, so it's an awkward angle, this camera. I can't show you how I see things that well. I'd use the flat table really to see what's what, but obviously I have to hold everything in place. Alright, that would probably look okay, scale wise.
Let's have a look at his banner. That's some cool detail on that banner.
I'm hoping it's not a job where I'm going to have to put green stuff in the gap there, because if I do, that means I have to let him set all bloody day, which really kills my flow. Oh, I love it when the glue bonds to things. The head position is still changeable, which is good.
You've got to be in a good position for head.
Always. Almost any position is a good position for head, unless it's somewhere really uncomfortable.
Like the back of a Volkswagen.
Damn right. Yeah, I think that'll work. What do you guys reckon? Especially when I orc up the legs a bit more and build him a bionic leg. So there's a bit of a gap between him and the legs that's going to need filling in.
So,
maybe I can do it without green stuff and just find a bit of sprue, file that down and fit that in its stead so it bonds quicker. Actually, that's a laugh. It's going to bond quicker with the Games Workshop glue.
yeah, good luck with that.
Let's get rid of some of this.
Uh,
Just a bit of sprue.
C2, there we are. There we go.
I can make him work that way. That seems a bit thick still. Sand this down. And Lord Tattoo says it looks good to him. Thank you, Lord Tattoo. So, why the name? Do you actually design tattoo work? Or are you just really into tattoos? Are you a tattooist?
Have you finished with that poly? If you haven't, mate, it's not a problem.
Temporarily, it's back and forth today. Right. I love being able to sand faster.
You're not allowed to sand fast.
I'm the most. I'm really one of those people that's attention to detail and everything has to be precise, but also lacks the ability to make anything at all precise ever.
Yep, sounds like.
You know, like it's measure twice, cut once, and I measure like 5 times,
and
cut once, and your desk still didn't fit exactly how I wanted it. I remember seeing that Instagram post when we first moved the studio in here, and I'm like, yeah, measuring like an orc, and there's like a 3-inch gap between the desk and the wall. And the guy's like, it's for the cables, right? And I'm like, in quotation mark, yes, for the cables. It's the name of his mini painting company.
Oh, cool.
Of a mini painting company, he says. That's cool. It's kind of a misleading name for a mini painting company.
Lord Tattoo. Yeah.
Like when Games Workshop changed all their store names to Warhammer because people kept going in asking for Call of Duty. But the people that play Call of Duty tend to be idiots anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't expect that much. That game has just been copy and paste for forever. I take the square notch off as it's serving no real purpose at the moment. Oh, I love this glue.
Well, the best one they made was Call of Duty Modern Warfare, although that did send me into a trauma spiral for about a week afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not surprised.
Totally worth it.
Yeah. I've got loads of them games, you know, just from being a PlayStation Plus member. It's like, have this game for free, and it's like, another one, really?
Call of Duty 72. It's like Fast and Furious.
It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but everyone has afros. It's just like, oh, is that a new release now, is it? Or is it some other bollocks?
Call of Duty Afro Warfare.
No, because if they hear that, they're going to come up with that as an idea, like Monopoly.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if there's a 40k Monopoly.
I think there is.
Yep. And look at the surprise on my face.
Yep, totally surprised.
Complete shock. Martin says, what's up, dudes? What's
All
up,
good,
Martin?
buddy.
I hope you're not working too hard today.
Or just like us, hardly working.
Yep. So much to be done, except this doesn't want to bond.
Why would I put that stupid demon holding hand in my on my model?
Do you know where the vice went?
I have plenty of vices.
Don't we all? I'll have to dig that out at some point so I can get things at the right angle for the camera. And actually, the extra pair of hands would be really bloody useful. At some point in the future, they'll figure out how to reattach limbs, and then, if you've got the money, you can walk around with 4 arms like Goro. The future's gonna get strange if we survive. And Marty says, not too hard.
I don't want to survive, I've had enough.
I don't know, one of the reasons I would like a complete apocalypse is, you know, when you were younger and you just like exploring abandoned buildings and other stuff. It'd just be a lot of that and then try not to die. Which at least seems like an adventure. Can't go wrong with an adventure.
Well, you can. You know, if you fail at trying not to die.
Ah, well, dying is its own adventure.
True.
I think that might be about the right thickness. Marty says an extra thumb on the forehead. 'Cause why not? It'd be really handy actually, an extra finger on your forehead if you wear glasses and they keep sliding down.
Yeah. I do find that annoying when my glasses do that. On the odd occasion I wear them.
Yeah. I mean, with the age we're at, we should probably be wearing our glasses with the hobby we're into.
Probably. I've got an eye test next Sunday.
The Specsavers just message everybody at the same time, because I got a message about that other day as well.
It's every 2 years.
Yeah. Can I get some of that poly?
Yes, sir.
This may not have been the best way to do this, but it's definitely a damn sight quicker than putting green stuff in tar and then waiting for it to set.
Whoop, apologies.
Earthquake test.
As I punch the camera. Really
He was
helpfully.
asking for it, really.
It was. It was there, in the way.
It's been staring at you for hours.
That's better. That's why I keep going into space. Energy saving mode.
Ah. So it updated itself and then just changed its settings again.
No. I just left the plug turned off.
Ah. No, I thought it was one of those things. I was like, we've changed all your settings again.
So, gee, thanks.
Oh, Games Workshop, your glue sucks at times. Everyone on the live stream watching me struggle with just this very simple task of gluing this on. Bond you git. So what's everyone else been up to recently? I mean, sometimes I'm tempted to just use super glue, but our super glue is just as crap.
Yeah. No, super glue is terry bad.
Terry bad.
Yep. That's how bad it is.
It needs its own words.
Yeah. Needs its own descriptor.
Just Bond.
Don't want to.
I am most of the way through this project. I was expecting to almost have it done by now, but no. Of course, there's a glue issue.
Yeah, the lack of a second tube would be it being one of them.
True. Could pass it back and forth, but by the time I passed it back, that doesn't matter. I just messed up what I was trying to say in the wrong order there. I pass it back to you, try and get it back, and this still hasn't bonded by that point. Martin says he's been trying to get everything sorted for my house renovation. Ah, cool. House renovation. What are you doing?
Sounds like a lot of work I wouldn't want to do.
Yeah, I'm hoping you're putting in a bar.
Only one?
Yeah, some stripper poles. Depends how big your gaff is, really, doesn't it? I went to a gig once and they had two or three different bars in the area, right? In the venue. In an enclosed area. And they were selling booze at different prices at each one.
Yeah.
The same booze. And I was like, how does this make any sense whatsoever? I hate it when they do that. And it's not even beer off a tap either. It's like, yeah, pay us this much for a tinny.
Yeah.
That's terrible for it, like that in London. It's like, here, give us £5 for this can.
But no, I won't.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
That still might be a bit much. Just wish that would stand properly. It's getting a bit irritating. Right. It's not bloody having that. Bloody git. Martin says, I am not doing it myself, other people can do it. Makes sense. Most stuff is getting done on the outside. New plating, new roof, inside going to be the bathroom and the walls. Sounds like that's going to be a really noisy bunch of weeks.
Yeah, it does also sound like a massive someone else's job situation.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? No, I ain't doing that.
Massive, not my problem.
Yeah. I'm just going to put my hand in my pocket and let someone else have that issue.
Yeah, it makes sense. Oh, it'd be nice if it bonded to anything. Have we got bloody super glue? Because right now this is doing my...
No, we have glue what alleges to be super glue.
Right. It just does not want to have it. It's... Right, where's the pretend super glue? Ah, there it is.
That's that polygon.
Don't buy this super glue, it sucks.
I could say that with poly.
Yeah. Secure fixes it.
That's
what?
Your fingers.
Your definition of secure is somewhat lacking.
There are questions to be had.
Oh no, it secured my finger to the base.
Oh, it's great. It's great at that.
Yeah.
It's blooming useless for anything else.
I use the old wet surface technique with super glue.
Doesn't work particularly well with that stuff.
Doesn't it?
No, it's that shit.
And Marty says, yep, not my problem, I just hand them money. Yeah, that seems the best way to do that. Okay, we have a temporary bond. Whew. Now, just to figure out how to get this to sit exactly where I want it to. So it still looks like he's got orc legs. Obviously that's going to be important.
Well, yeah, he's an orc. It's kind of a fundamental part of
his whole existence, isn't it, being an orc?
I mean,
there, I think.
Your pain boss might be good, but I don't think he's capable of grafting a human leg to an orc.
Oh, he is.
I don't think Fabius could make that one work.
I don't know. Orcs seem very, very malleable.
We're also fungus and people aren't.
I was thinking of green stuffing funguses and things out of their Nurgle's rot as well, which I think could add a little bit to the theme and a little bit of fluff as well. There was a way of getting this to bond. It's about that high. Yeah, it needs to be about there. And of course this doesn't want to bond to anything. It's going to be one of them days.
Why would it not be?
I don't know, mate. Alright. It can't be the most interesting of streams right now. It's just one of them it really is just one of them days. I started with the attempt again, everything complete, and then I get stuck on this little problem. Big gong, awkward position.
GW's glue performing at its best here.
Always.
So how's that Loonshine coming up, Disco? I'm definitely interested to see a photo of that because it's a very cool fig.
Yeah.
It's just a giant moon.
A giant moon.
Yeah. Giant crescent moon with face, proper goblin logo.
Ah, yeah, I know the one you mean. Ah, bloody hell, it's come up again. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That drill bit doesn't drill very straight. I've had this Dremel a long time now. Right, back to stage 1. Well, if you're handing the money over, Martin, I do recommend getting a bar installed, stripper poles, some good lighting.
Some strippers.
Yep.
Or maybe do it yourself, if that's the way you roll.
Put himself in a cage in the corner.
Yeah. Takes all sorts, mate.
Yeah. Martin says, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. You should just rotate 180 degrees, and you will get where you went, where you were going in no time. No, I don't. I wish that'd work.
Yeah.
That would be brilliant.
That would be helpful.
What, like any of these glues that I'm using actually bonding to something?
That's unlikely.
Oh no, it glued to the thing. I put a paper clip down and immediately it bonded to something else.
Oh, obviously.
Of course it does.
I mean, bonding to the thing you want it to bond to, and that'd be helpful, wouldn't it?
And I don't even want it to bond permanently. Just temporarily to take it off. Yeah, just so I can hold it in place. I should dig out. I've got one of those vices, and I've got one of the fly making devices with the 2 clips on it as well. The crocodile clips, for holding things in place. So I should dig that out as well. So I've got more wiggle room on that, like movement and an extra set of hands. You're not even hard to put together, really. Stop being a git. I'll demote you back to just a regular knob. That
Just out of spite.
Yeah. So I'm not. It'll be one of them things. I'm not building this now. In the box you go. That's all I need. I just need to raise it up that little bit. I could do the peg leg. It's always good. That's the bit I'm looking forward to working on. This extra bit of leg.
Disco Magma says it's going slowly. There are loads of shrooms to pair, and I'm not that steady, and my eyes are shut. That's fair enough, mate. We'll keep on going. When it's ready, we'd love to see a photo of it. Check and tag us on Instagram and all that sort of good stuff.
Lots of shrooms, eh? That's exactly where my brain went when you mentioned that.
I know it is.
Yeah, you would though. I just want that there. How difficult is that?
Apparently, very.
Well, yeah. Go figure. Where is my little bit of filed down sprue? Oh, warning, we're having issues with my stream, are we? My connection's dropped a bit. I apologise if the connection dropped a bit. I can sort of guess what that might be. I bet our lass is playing Fallout. Because that game runs bloody superbly.
Should hope so, with the amount of data updating time we've had to fix it.
Yeah, well, I'm really annoyed, again, as usual, Bethesda, because all the updates they keep bringing out for that game, it's like, oh, we've done this for new players, we've done that for new players, and it's like, yeah, me and Jen ain't new players, and we're the ones paying you. For the Plus and the Fallout First. Like, we're the ones paying you, but you're doing all the updates based around new players. Which, once I realised that, it's non-stop irritated me. It's like, how about you put something in for the veterans who struggled all the way through the beta?
Made the game work.
We kept you afloat, mate. When the whole internet was like, this game's rubbish, don't get it. It was those that struggled through the beta that, kept the community alive. Marty says just a few drop frames here and there. Okay, hopefully it'll steady itself back out. I know that needs to bond there, but I need to have something underneath, otherwise it will just bloody break.
I do love the design of these wrist match storm ballers.
Yeah?
Yeah, they look really cool. And it sort of makes sense as well. It means it keeps the arm hand free for them to do other things with it. You know, like punch people or pick stuff up.
Yeah, that's always handy. I mean, in a battlefield, being able to pick stuff up and punch people.
Both useful things to be able to do.
Yeah.
Or even smack the squad mong around the back of the head.
Yeah, but they all cycles the Grey Knights.
Yeah.
Just give them a jolt to the brain.
Yeah, it's not as satisfying though, is it? Something satisfying about walking up to the back of the squad mong and just give him a clip round the ear roll.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I was looking through the box of Possessed the other day. The £75 Possessed that I built all those years ago. Found Colin's mate with a weird wave I was showing Jenny.
Hey,
she was laughing at how ridiculous he looks. Just hello. Good times. And now I need to repurpose those arms for my Storm Boys.
Colin the
Colin the Plague
Bearer, yeah. And his mate the Derpy Possessed. And we also had a pigeon.
Why do I not remember that?
Downs pigeon.
Oh, the pigeon that sounded like it was mooing outside the old studio. Now that was really, really bizarre. I think it flew into one too many windows or something.
But it came back every year.
It was like, I can't even do impressions of it because it wouldn't do it justice.
It was just such a weird noise, wasn't it?
Aye. Right, I'm just going to glue that in there.
Just not a pigeon noise.
I get the poly, mate.
It's like, what the...
Yeah, it took us a while to figure out what it was outside, then we looked and it's a pigeon on the phone cable behind us, just making a mooing sound.
You had to hear it to believe it. A bizarre thing. Bizarre.
And then a bit on there. Be nice to get this to bond.
You said Bond. My name's Bond. That sounded like something falling over.
Yeah.
When it didn't need to.
Apparently the condition has gone back to excellent now, so I figured. I bet Jen was just blue screening on thingy. We blue screen so much, or people blue screen so much playing Fallout 76, we just shortened it down to I've blued. You know, I mean, it's, I blue screened again. No, it's just, I blued. You can see it's said so often.
Welcome to the channel, all those extra viewers we've got. I'm in hobby butterfly mode at the minute. I was going to be creating some...
You mean you're going to turn into a chrysalis?
Yep. I was going to be creating some Possess this week. They have metamorphosed into Grey Knights.
That is quite a change.
It is.
They're like some secret operative possessed.
Alpha Legion Possessed.
Yeah, just thinking that. Actually, speaking of random chrysalises and cocoons, I found one outside before I came in. Me and Jen also have a habit of finding a caterpillar every year and then keeping it in a jar until it changes into a chrysalis, just to see what it hatches into.
I'm going to hazard a guess at a butterfly or a moth.
Well, if it was a
Maybe
tarantula, I'd be more surprised.
Yeah, if it was a bird. Ah, look! Cuckoo's managed to lay a chrysalis.
Oh, that'd be weird. I'm just currently moving him around here to have a look at the... Marty says, working title, Blue Screen Simulator. The other one we call it is Welcome to Fallout 76, the game of encumbrance.
Yeah.
The constant need to pick up everything, which has now been made super easy,
That's cool.
and then immediately be over encumbered.
So, hey, I've got all this stuff.
And actually, I'm fuming with them at the moment because they're counting what I've been doing with my chainsaw build as a glitch, and now they're removing it. Because before chainsaws became popular within that game, they weren't legendary. You couldn't do anything with them. They did like 2 damage. That was it. But I figured out a way to make that damage escalate. Actually had people on the game, and I'd run up to them with a chainsaw, killing them, running up and just running into me to try and figure out what it is that I'm using, to make it so powerful.
Yeah.
And I learned that in first person, you can't sprint and use the chainsaw at the same time. But in third person, if you press the buttons in the right order, you can sprint and chainsaw. And now Bethesda are going to try and take that away. Well, they are going to take that away, apparently.
Boo.
Which sucks, because I was really happy with this build. I've been trying to build it since the game started.
Yeah, just have to go back to your big bada boom.
He's a different character. I've not used him in ages. But I don't know what I'm going to do now. Might go back to the old power fist.
Oh, sit and cry in the corner.
There's that.
It is an option.
That is always an option. So how's that pose looking to everybody else?
Poser.
Trying to get the scale just right. Obviously there'll be green stuff work needs to be done, and other blending.
One thing I have just found myself doing, I don't know why, is I'm drilling the barrels.
That's the first time for everything.
Yeah.
Is that going to be like a new habit now, is it?
Only for this army.
Right, let me show you this, Andy, see if it looks straight enough and scale to you.
Yeah, it looks alright.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hopefully that will bond.
So yeah, barrel drilling apparently is a thing I'm doing, which is something I've never done because it really annoys friends of mine.
Isn't that a reason to do it?
Yeah, the fact that I don't. Because it,
the fact that you don't drill your barrels.
Yeah, it really irritates them.
Martin says posing like a catwalk model.
So Kate Moss, eat your heart out.
Yeah. Catwalk model. Designs for some of those outfits are just...
They do make them look like
cats. How many drugs were these designers on?
Yes.
Just yes.
What drugs did you take? All of them.
It's like, I thought you were designing clothes.
I was, whilst high.
Yeah, but like, they're just all up their own arses, those designers.
Or maybe they're snorting coke out of each other's asses, whilst causing the problem. So not only is it pretentious, it's also,
Yeah, someone just joined the chat at that point as well.
Welcome
not
to
the
the
chat
channel.
to join the channel, but yeah.
Welcome to the channel, guys, where we talk bollocks. For
we
about
do
3 hours.
40k stuff, and like Andy says, we do 40k and chat bollocks. So get your paintbrushes out, get your models out, and join in. Alright, he's going to bond for a bit, so I just.
I need the poly.
You need the poly. I need to start figuring out this next leg.
Mate, give it a rib.
Oh, rib leg, no.
You do realise every
That
time.
was the last time I ever did a job for anybody without getting paid first.
Yeah.
That was
Lesson learned, mate.
Lesson learned, and rib leg. This thing, it now just lives in the studio because
And rent free in your brain.
Yeah, just as a lifelong lesson, get paid first. And Martin says, and they immediately left. Some of them outfits look like orc wear though. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Some very weird stuff what these designers make. And you're like, what? What possessed you to put that together? and then put it on a bloke?
I don't know. I just think they're all really badly and weirdly designed because they're all just patting each other on the back about how original they are. So apparently saying these clothes designers suck coke out of each other's arses is enough to make people leave. Oh well.
I would like to say that's a surprise, but it's not really, is it?
I'd be much more intrigued.
Oh yeah, it would be
Like,
intriguing
what
to
else
what.
is going on with this
So
channel?
hang on a sec, what's this?
That shoe's a bit too big. I can't use that kill count one. I think.
Yeah, a kill can shoot on an orc would look somewhat excessive.
But I think these little parts here, I think they can be cut down into some kind of leg. We need to make.
Maybe give it some kind of, you know, like them walking blades. What people amputees have.
Ah, yeah, like a peg leg, but like an advanced modern version.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely gonna have one cyborg leg on this thing somewhere.
He's having more than 2 legs then.
We might do. That's a possibility as well.
And a roller skate.
Oh no, not roller skates. I saw someone on actual old school roller skates in Denmark. In the bike aisle, and I was just like,
what?
when our Jen came out the pub, I was like, you never guess what I just saw coming down the road.
Well, on the way through, I seen a guy, clearly from our generation, like in his 40s, 40-year-old dude, skateboarding old school style.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, man.
When the weather's good, man, it makes me want to grab a skateboard again.
Yeah, but who are you going to hit with it?
Anyone gets in the way, I guess.
Be gone, non-skateboarder. No, I was never particularly good. I did skate a little bit when I was a kid, but I never got very good.
Martin says, "Oh, leave him to be an amputee." That's something I'm doing with my deaf copters. Since they're bigger pilots, I'm having their legs removed and chainsaws put on at the knee. So who doesn't want chainsaws for knees?
Anybody who needs a niece of things?
Oh, imagine you're in a queue, right? You're in a queue somewhere and you've just got chainsaws for knees. You're going to get to the front of that queue pretty quick.
People will probably move out of your way, I will say that.
Yeah. Now the scale of this hand, that definitely fits, so if I clean that up, that's almost another part done. He's getting little bonds put here and there, and then I'm going to do detailing work another day, but he's already coming along quite nice. Of course, I'm going to need that drill bit again, Andy. So, I think that's a decent hand to use, and I think the scale looks about right. Then again, with this guy, if the scale's off, it doesn't really matter. You can have a little tiny strong hand.
Take my strong hand, child. Such a creepy dude in that film.
Yeah. But you wouldn't take the strong hand. It's like, I'd rather fall to my death.
Like, that strong hand doesn't look like it's been cleaned, ever.
Chainsaws for legs sounds terrible when walking on a deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, but if you're on like something absolutely solid, you're just going to turbo off. Out that little
Or
tracks,
down.
won't they? Or down. Things get weird in this chat. To be honest, things get weird whenever it's in close proximity to me.
Yeah, true. Right, Disco Magnum is making a brew and he's offered to give us one.
Hey!
A brew, that is. Yep, I'm down for a brew. What are you making? Coffee, no
I have some
sugar.
of those mushrooms in mine. I don't know why that made me think of the time I was cutting up the orcs. I think it was because I was thinking about finding random stuff in your drink. And then I was talking to you and I was cutting up some orc bits, so was I talking to you? And the arm pinged off. I turned around and the arm was sticking straight out my nose. It's a very strange place to find an orc arm.
It
What
is.
the bloody hell's happened to me camera? That was nuts.
Just, well, my camera was glitching like mad when I first turned the stream on. Apparently, the white balance had messed up, and with the Grey Knight box being blue, the camera got really confused.
I'll be well chuffed if I get a character actually done. Now, I can just stick this on. It's nice and easy. Right, so it's just Warg banner and a custom shooter for this guy, isn't it?
Yeah, just some kind of gun and a big.
Well, that was already
bashing
pretty
stick.
much built, except for the green stuff where it needs to be done. Yeah, he shouldn't take too long, really. I want to make him some kind of really cool backpack that looks like it's keeping him alive. 'Cause it's going to be a general theme as well.
Well, them be trying not to unalive themselves.
Yeah. What's this? That is part from a kill cam leg.
Shroom tea, one of your two.
2, please. Kind of wanted to put like an oxygen tank on him as well.
Oxygen thief.
But it'd be very hard to get a green stuff pipe into his nose and then down there and have it like going into like an oxygen tank.
There you are. Would that help?
You know, I like my piping. So, but yeah, even that's going to be too big, I think. It's going to have to be super fine. Let's try and drill a hole in this arm that I've now put down somewhere. Always putting stuff down and losing it. It's because I live in a world of bits where nothing is ever complete. Yeah, I should dig out that vise so I can angle stuff better on here and you guys can see it better. About there.
Right. Now to look at the squad options.
That's a bit high.
Not sure I can do it.
Figured it won't go off. I hate that with the drill bits.
Now I know the weapons make no difference as yet. However,
As yet, but we all know that can change.
Yeah.
Which is
why I'm going to future-proof it by making sure I've got the different melee weapons.
Martin says, give him one of those hospital riding poles with a drip. I was thinking of that as well, mate. But what I was going to do is have a Gretchen on his shoulder, like carrying it for him.
No, you can make it his walking stick.
Yeah, that's what Martin was saying.
Yeah.
The one with the 4 wheels on the bottom of it.
Yeah. And you're going to give him some kind of walking stick anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Terminate squad, here we are. War gear options. One Terminator Stormbolter can be equipped with a gun. One Terminator Stormbolter can have a banner. And one Stormbolter is replaced with an Arthesium. Right, okay, so you cannot have the same bloke with the banner and an Arthesium. That makes sense. So that'd be really helpful.
Can't have things being helpful.
So I have to have.
I'm almost happy with the stance. It's definitely getting somewhere.
So side cannon is going to get the great hammer. I think that makes sense.
trim this down a little bit more.
One hammer. So it is around here. And I believe that is a cyclone.
Currently a little bit quiet for a Wednesday in the chat groups on the live stream.
Yeah, we've got a little bit on here on this side as well, though.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Disco's chatting away on this side.
Oh yeah, what's going on over there, Disco?
He's just making a brew and he's offering you a shroom tea.
Lovely.
So we have a little bit of chat still.
No worries.
At least we have some.
Right, so if we're going to use that arm, I need to figure out how to make this staff. I would really like to make their own symbol. Now where did I put the parts for that? I would have thought they'd have been in this bag, but it's been so long since I unpacked him that I don't know where they're all gone. Yeah.
Or they have been put in amongst them stuff and you can't recognise the parts what you had eyeballs from.
That's also a possibility. I do love these bits from Maxi Minis though. They're definitely going on my knobs with scorchers, which probably won't even be that effective, but
we'll be able to shoot straight, which is something.
they'll be able to hit something. Right, so it's not in that one. Where else would it be? It's not like I have a shortage of bits next to me either.
Nope. Which is kind of a problem, really, isn't it?
It is and it isn't.
No, it's kind of the problem, should I say.
I wouldn't mind having some more of these little barrels either for this particular build. Some large cannons in there. Right.
21 barrels of oaks on a wall. 21 barrels of oaks.
That was temporarily bonded the other day. And you know what? That's gone in pretty well, so that'll be a project for me to work on at some point later on. What do you reckon, Andy? I think that pose is alright.
One sec, mate, I'm busy. Ah, yeah. I'm liking that. That dreadnought's going to look weird.
Yeah, it's going to look epic as well, though.
Yeah, that's it.
Bells for this. What I'm looking for is I actually had some very small tyres lying around just to make this symbol. I just kind of like the idea of having 3 tyres and then exhaust fumes.
Yeah, like
exhaust
say,
ports coming out the back of it, so it looks like it spreads more decay.
An orchid variation of the Nurgle logo.
Yep. But I can't remember where I put all the little wheels.
Ah, unhelpful.
Yes. There is a bits box somewhere that just has vehicle bits in it. I don't think it's this one either.
Stop coming apart, you git.
Yeah, you have to apologise for there not much happening on the screen at the moment as I am in the bits box. One of the many bits boxes. Some really weird stuff in these bits boxes.
Yeah, because we've got bits from way back, haven't we? We've got all kinds of stuff.
We've got bits from old retro kits kicking around as well.
We've got a retro Cypher knocking around somewhere. I can't find him.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pick him out at some point.
He'll turn up.
He'll be in that box with the other parts that I'm missing.
Yeah. But he'll turn up literally just after I buy the new one.
Oh yeah, that's usually what happens.
Yeah, I've got a replacement for it. Yeah, there he is. He's on my desk now.
What are the smallest tyres I can use for this? I know I have some more of these.
So look.
They might be a bit big.
Yeah, I don't think.
I had it mapped out in my head. I had a symbol, and then these would come around the back of it. So let's see. Maybe I got rid of the tire idea, but I really like the massive symbol. I thought that looked cool.
Is it going on his banner?
Yeah. Sorry, that's a bit out of focus. But it would have been something like this with tires in the middle, and then have that on the end of a banner. And then I was going to put big gas canisters and things on the back of him.
That's
And wire those to his banner so it looks like the exhausts are actually giving off fumes. So that's definitely something I want to be working on.
So it turns out there is a very specific hand for the heavy weapon. You can't just bodge it together.
Ah, come on, this is Bigmeks workshop. We can bodge anything together.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit very well. You know what I mean? We can bodge it, but it won't fit right.
It won't stay bodged.
Yeah.
Used to be our motto. If we can bodge it, stays bodged. There, brain fart.
If we bodge it, it stays bodged.
It did.
Oh, why? Yes.
That desk that we took apart.
That took some right work to put it back. It took apart.
Yeah, the bits I tried to take apart downstairs, I was smashing some spare bits up for the fire. The screw would not come out. It ended up snapping.
Yeah.
And it stayed in there, so I just ended up sawing it in half instead. It really did stay bodged. Right, so I still want to build the banner like that with the two exhaust ports. Something orky here over these parts, make it look a little bit more unique. Now, I can't remember the exact design or whether or not all the parts are in here.
That's him. You can be braced with your thunder hammer and your bumming heavy weapon.
Thunder hammer. Where's my blue tack got to start temporarily putting some of these bits in place so we can see what we're doing.
Sword.
Swords, is it?
Yeah. And the crossbody halberd, because it looks cool.
Halberd, that's the long stick thing.
Yeah, it's a long bladed one. But there's one where he's holding it in two hands.
Yeah. Oh, you have to use that same arm then, don't you?
There's a very specific arm you have to use for it, yeah. So otherwise it just doesn't work.
Right. Think gun down on this guy maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks more like he can carry it that way, always leaning into it, so it'd definitely be gun down on this guy. We're going to bulk the shoulders out a bunch more as well. He's starting to look pretty cool as a warg banner.
Yeah, I've always liked him.
I was going to make a second warg banner, but I don't know. One will do for now. I'm just trying to get anything built in the army would be good. I need to make a really cool backpack for him.
So yeah, one heavy gun, one banner, one medic.
You said medic, and then you reminded me of the scene in Starship Troopers. And then I remembered Gazgul got shot in the skull at one point, and then I started thinking about a Golden Demon entry where Gazgul's on the floor with his head like blown out as just one of the boys, and then another orc be like, medic! Yeah, my brain's messed up, man. It took like a second to think of all that. Annoying. Right, so I'm going to blue tack those in place as well. And at least I have something that looks okay. It also helps the audience know what I'm doing, and it also helps them visualise how it's going to end up looking, which I find is very important.
It doesn't help at all, mate. No. As
Well, I've got something there for a general pose.
it's
and
gonna
not
look very
looking
odd.
too bad. Yeah, it will do.
Let's just be honest.
I'm going to enjoy painting him though. That's one of the. I'm trying to build and sculpt things, so when they're done, I'm going to be really happy to put some of my best paint work on them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it also fits in. We were talking about the scaling as well. It was always characters and stuff that would be ogre in size or bigger, whereas knobs would now sit a bit smaller than him, which makes sense.
Yeah, because he's a leader.
He's going to be harder. Just because that's how orcs develop and grow.
Yeah, I'm harder than you, therefore I'm bigger than you.
More fighting, more adrenaline. I'm now bigger. Okay, let's start thinking what I'm going to do with this book. Trying to stick mainly to these parts that we've already got access to, rather than digging out new ones.
Well, that's great.
Right, and this is a good starting piece, although it could be cleaned up a little bit. Always cleaning. In fact, this makes a pretty good. That'd make a pretty good leg piece. What do you reckon? Yeah. I mean, the spring on it, that would look pretty cool as part of a shin. How tall do I want it to be? I'm not sure yet. I think. What is this off? I think it's off a motorbike.
There it is. Stupid grey plastic. They need to paint this plastic a different colour, man. It just disappears.
But grey, it hides the dirt.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It hides in the dirt.
Having a carpet in the studio is just a stupid idea as well. The amount of bits that have just pinged off and they're gone.
Yeah. Never to be seen again.
That bit was definitely for the banner. So we've got a bunch of chimneys there. Bond something in the middle. Make it look very orky. Make it look more orky than it does chaos. Although some symbology from chaos would also help add to it.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's spiky.
Spiky and fungusy and weird.
Disco and Magma just jumped over to see what's happening. I'm currently building Morak, my Morg banner. Who I'm actually quite happy with so far today.
Makes a change.
Yes, just nice to. Well, now I've got him all posed with the green stuff, I can visualise everything a lot easier. In my previous conversions, I keep forgetting to, instead of pinning stuff and gluing them, just put them together with green stuff to get a rough idea of, the angles. 'Cause I've said many times, one of the things that lets me down, anatomy of models. I always get the scaling slightly off or surreal. And that's why when I used to do artwork, I'd tend to just do Dali or Geiger style artwork because I couldn't do physical form. I was terrible at it. So it just made sense to play to my strengths and make my art very warped.
Yeah, I get that.
Yes, realism was never one for me. Screw reality.
I reject your reality and substitute it with my own.
I mean, technically I could turn this thing into a leg. A very weird, stumpy leg. See a little face on it. That would require a custom base. Disco Magma said he looks sweet, man. Oh, thank you, Disco Magma. I'm kind of enjoying this project today. Actually, it was going to be some of the 40 plus knobs that I've got, but I think at the moment it's just going to be, I'm going to do like 5 or 10 knobs. You know what I mean, and then do some burner boy knobs and then some flash kits and just break them down.
Yeah, that's it. Just get
a little bit of everything on the go.
Keep it enjoyable.
I know some, like, in all, back in the day, I had about 5,000 points worth of orcs. Nothing is finished, and that was years ago.
And all you've done is just bought more orcs since.
I bought some other kits. There's Imperial Guard bits lying around. To be fair, I live in a sea of bits.
That's nothing, mate. I've seen this one guy who showed off his pile of shame, and he didn't even claim to be a gamer. He said, I'm straight up a collector.
Yeah.
And his pile of shame looked like a shop. Everything's still in its
Why is
sprue.
it a pile of shame? I'd say that's glorious.
Everything was still in its box, cellophane, mate. It weren't even opened. It looked like a shop.
Oh, in that case, yeah, it's a bit much. You at least want to get your box home and dive into your 30 quid box to get that one piece that you wanted. I've done that several times.
I know.
Jen used to hate it. She's like, how many tanks are you buying?
4. I need
4.
this one part.
She's like,
4
how many are you going to make out of this? 1.
None. We're going to be something else.
Yeah, if you want to be technical, none.
We're going to be something else.
Yeah. I used to love building the looted wagons, but you're not allowed those anymore even, I don't think.
Yeah, you kind of are. You just make it a wagon, innit?
Okay, that's got plenty of detail in it. Yeah, I suppose so. Right, how was I going to put this together? Now I can green stuff strapped over his shoulders, or I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe the paint boy just bolts this to his back. It'd be easier. Bolt a strap to the backpack, or just bolt the backpack to the guy. It's less trouble if it just bolts straight on. That doesn't look too bad. These parts are from Maxi Minis, and I only have a limited amount as well. So what I'm hoping to do is I really need to dig that vice out so I can keep the model center screen. Something along these lines. Maybe I do that one top side. Yeah, that might be better. In between the shoulder pads. And it looks like it's attached to his spine that way as well. So that'll go on top. I don't know where all my other parts have gone for the Warg banner. I've probably been in there while doing a conversion in the old studio, pulled the parts out, put them in something else. I like those two as the chimney stacks for that. That for the backpack. Now the leg. What we got? Try and zoom it in for you, seeing as I'm using the table as somewhere to put my bits currently. Right. And zoom in a few times. There we go. You can see what I'm talking about now. This is some kind of feeder tube, either into him or into the exhausts on the Warg banner. I really did like that concept of them just having any kind of exhaust or fume just pouring out this weird bile fungus that they've got. I mean, if that's how orcs spread and breed, that works pretty well.
Yeah.
Right. More toxic chemicals. Wondering if I need to build a template for the back. What was the other nervous symbols I had? I could just use a single tire maybe. Not as cool really want to come up with something I can make repeatedly on the battle wagons and everything else, as a Warg Decay symbol.
Yeah.
I think that would really add something if it was on, and I could paint it on all the other banners and stuff as well. Their own unique symbol is something I've always wanted to do. But I can't think of anything, guys, that's got smaller tyres than, what's this, motorbike.
Well, as Martin suggested, Matchbox. Get a cheap Matchbox car.
Maybe that could work.
I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything I might have to hand as well. It might actually be a good option, that. I need the tyres the right scale.
Yeah, because it'll only be a couple of quid, something like that.
I want them about that size, to be honest. This seems about the right size for a banner because Games Workshop scaled it as such.
Yeah.
That's the tacky one. That's the better one. But I like this kind of idea. Piping and more work going into that, but with tyres instead. And I'll just angle in so you can see what I mean. Yeah, that looked pretty cool. Okay, so I've got the ideas down. What's this from? Something from a fantasy piece. And then from something like this, I would want, where is the other cable gone? Right, this one. I would have this feeder cable, which I could probably bend into the right shape, going from the back of here into that backpack one way or another. I'd probably have to stretch it though, and reshape it. So you can see why I bag up all my parts when I'm halfway through a project and I'm done with it. There's so many. What's this skull on a chain? I was half expecting Andy to pop up then and be like, skull on a chain?
Sounds like mine.
Right. That should be about the right scale for a set of toes. Maybe something a little bit wider. Let's see what I can find in the old bits box. One of them anyway. There is the parts there from a burner boy, I think. It's just like there's some toes here somewhere from a death dread. I wonder if they can be chopped down. Maybe that'll work. Starting to look very cyberpunk, that though.
No wrong with that.
There's potential with that idea.
That could have been really painful instead of just mildly.
What was really painful?
It could have been.
I
got my crown jewels caught between my thighs
let's see when that happens.
as I was trying to catch something.
Oh, I've done that one. Oh, it's falling in between my legs. Quick, I'll shut my legs really, really fast and hard.
Nope. Ouch.
Bad idea.
Body goes. Guess again, sunshine.
I didn't drill the barrels on this gun either. Yeah, I know. What was I thinking? I wonder if I could add more DACA.
Probably.
I probably can add more lacquer.
Drilling the barrels is a good start to adding more lacquer.
Yeah.
Speaking of drilling barrels, can I grab that?
A drill bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it the right size?
It's just right, actually, yeah, it's alright.
Happy accidents.
No such thing as a mistake, it's just a happy accident.
Bob Ross, everybody. Dropping in for the live stream. I think more sculpting of that leg would need to be done. I think the knee needs to come off completely. That'll give me something to build down from, because at the moment I would just be building a shin. Yeah, I need to remove more leg. This should be fun.
Rib shin.
Rib shin. Need to find a template for the back. I need to bring my plastic card up from the cellar at some point as well, so I can just build a small box on the back with put some green stuff to bond it, and then use all my detail parts over the top. Basically make a template. Craft over the top. Shoulder pads. Something I am usually lacking.
As a marine player of sorts, not something I really struggle with. A lack of shoulder pads.
Now, you get a hell of a lot of shoulder pads actually.
Yeah. Generally, I'm trying to figure out what to use them for.
I like the hair on this, but in the event last sculpt, I might have to cut some of it off and then just green stuff my own in, just to get it to flow over the shoulder pad a bit. At the moment, it's in the way. I want stitching on this arm and that leg missing, so the best place to put this shoulder pad would actually be over this arm here. It's also got some detail in it though. That kind of works. I'm trying to find something to use as his foot, like the basis for the foot to build up from. Let's have a look at the kill cam box.
Right, okay, so what I've got here now is a whole bunch of partially built marines. And the reason they're partially built is because they're so stacked up with detail, I don't want to cock it up. See you in a bit, Disco. He's got to go off for a little while. He says he'll see us soon.
Catch you later, Disco. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for being along. See you soon, buddy.
Ugh. Finding a basis for the foot. There's a bunch of Mechanicus bits here. They've got to have something I can nick. It's not a bad start for a hand, but could have replaced that hand with this one. Possibly.
Handy.
And with the way the claw is, looks like I could just put those together. No, I'm going to stick with the that one, so I don't have to restart that because I don't want to start that again. I think the arm will be generally what I was already going for. At least in that ballpark. It looks like a walking cane as well, which is going to be handy. It's another reason I wanted the biomechanical leg at that side. So the walk banner, like you're saying, looks like a walking cane. He's definitely full of character. What are these bits? I forgot about the fantasy bits.
Okay. One thing I did notice is that the Terminator kit comes with an extra shoulder pad or two, which allowed me to replace the shoulder pad on the Librarian and give it a Grey Knight shoulder pad.
I'm wondering if the back part of this old model would be in scale enough to attach to this one. Although I don't want him to look like a mega knob either, so gotta be careful with my scaling. That could work as a template and then put this over the. That could work. And then we'll attach this barrel set to that barrel there. That works. So if I pull this off. Came off nice and easy. Right, so this is why models never get finished. That was part of an old Mega Knob, but I'd rather salvage his parts for the character I'm currently trying to finish. Right, there we go. That still seems a little excessive, I think. Silence falls over the crowd.
And the crowd go mild.
Yeah, not heard that one before. I like that. Yeah, I think this just covers those shoulders a little too much.
No, you don't.
You're trying to tell me what I think now.
No, you just don't think.
Is that what's been going wrong all this time?
Yeah. Stop thinking. You damage your brain.
Wear it out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, I am probably going to take a 5-minute break because I'm brainstorming this. It's dead quiet at the moment, so just try and figure this out.
Now, do I glue these together fully?
Now, this does look like it'll work for what I'm trying to do. It might work better on the Blight Brigade. What are you trying to figure out?
Do I glue these together fully? Or leave them in sub-assembly?
Depends what you want to do with your paintwork. you're not doing, yeah, Marty says thinking is bad for you. Well, thinking gives you cancer.
Every person who's ever had cancer has had at least one thought.
Yep.
So,
Stop thinking now! Raise the banner and march against thinking! Oh, I sound like an SJW.
you did. It's not good. It's not a good look, mate.
Yeah, it's not. I just take myself out back at chemical shed and shoot me.
Why you put yourself in the
Put myself in the gulag.
put yourself in the furnace.
Right. On that note, I am going to go have a smoke, probably. I'll be back shortly. There's me back in 5 minutes sign that's I've still never improved.
Don't need to be. Does his job. No one complains.
It's the worst handwriting ever.
Yeah. You haven't seen mine.
Yeah, at least you can write.
No, I can spell a bit. My writing's for shit, mate.
I'm enjoying the current project a bit, at least that's something. And he's actually, he's getting there. Right, I'll capture this in a minute. back. I might have to make a custom base for this so I can work on the legs a bit better.
The drill bit is what made up my mind.
Oh yeah?
Because it's too big for the pins.
Yeah.
So it won't make a secure fit.
So
So
we need to get a new set of those.
yeah. So that told me that, well, I may as well glue them together because
Yeah.
I can't not.
We need another set like this one, which is loads and loads of small drill bits.
One next to nothing,
Yeah. No, is this super glued to the desk?
probably.
Ah well. There's another drill bit there, mate. If I can unglue it from the desk.
Don't worry about it. Sorted now anyway.
Alright. They do break rather easy though.
It's because they're so fine.
The one we got from China was alright, but then it kept coming unscrewed when you were trying to twist it. Spend more time tightening it back together than
Oh, this black one, this black drill.
yeah, rather than actually drilling anything with it. Okay, we're working on a design for the backpack. And we were taking off, we took this one off the other model. I like this big round piece. This bit not so much. A bit too cumbersome. So I think this might even fit in between these two pegs here. So I can make that look pretty good actually. So let's try and take this apart without causing too much damage.
That's a lot of damage.
A lot of damage! That video was awesome. Hello there, Steve Kimball. Somebody blew up your mini while you were gone. God damn it, it happens all the time. It's probably Andy.
I will neither confirm nor deny my involvement in the explosion of your model.
I've had them explode in my hand when I've pinned so many bits together and squeezed and it's all
And then everything just went,
gone. No.
nope.
Structural integrity, what is that? This is an org conversion. So Steve, what do you collect? And also, very welcome to the live stream, which we usually do Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. If Andy ever turns up on time, or real life doesn't get in the way.
Both of which are feasible options.
Yeah.
I try to get here on time.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it, but I do try.
An effort is made.
The effort is made.
Let's clean this piece up. Sanding. May as well just call this channel Sanding and be done with it.
Bigmeks Sanding Club.
Sanding Club, sign up now. Become a member and get 50 sheets of sandpaper for free. Maybe like super fine sandpaper, 500 grade or something. You'd have more luck sanding or eroding it away with like weather.
Yeah. Just erosion. It's not so much sanding. Oh, what did I watch? I watched a guy early hours of this morning. I did, yeah. I woke up for a drink,
Yeah.
and I found this channel, and the guy uses AI software to mimic battles.
Okay.
So he had this massive Imperial Guard versus Nid battle going on.
Okay.
We trench network and everything.
That's cool.
It was very cool. We filled up the trench with blood and then bodies.
That's kind of how it'd go.
And it was literally, there were a million Nids started off.
Wasn't that an old Imperial Guard meme? It's like, keep sending the troops. If we can't beat them, we'll just drown them in our blood. I guess kind of works with the numbers.
Yeah, we were literally a million Nids for this battle.
Jesus.
80 basilisks, about 300,000 guardsmen. And it just ran
That
it
sounds interesting.
quite coolly, yeah. And miraculously, one guardsman survived, but he disappeared. No,
It was Andre, wasn't it?
It probably was Andre.
It just was Andre.
He just weren't there anymore. It's like, well, where did this bloke go?
He's gone somewhere picking his nose.
Emperor be praised!
I loved Andre in that book. He was so cool. It's like his character just embraced the fact at any moment he's about to die.
You don't do as I say, you die. You do as I say, you might survive. Emphasis on might.
Yeah, that's a big might. Right, that should be a little bit cleaner. I think.
Therefore,
Pieces
I
together.
ain't.
I think, therefore, I ain't. Those two pieces will work pretty well together. So. We'll have some kind of backpack. Do love these bits by Maxi Minis though. I don't know where I got them from. I think someone just gave me them one day. You know, one of those. Not a clue. But that almost lines up with both of those pegs too. Upside or the other way around, upside down or the other way around. That looks like a really nice fit. Obviously I don't want to glue anything just now because I need to figure out how I'm going to put that onto the model. One of the things I should do before the very end of today is fill the rest of his stomach up with green stuff and things to bond him. So when I continue to work on him he doesn't break. I think I'll end up making a custom base for him as well, which I might make, well, I'm not actually sure what type of bases I'm going to put these on.
Hobbit bases.
Hobbit bases. Ooh, I could put him on a little walking platform and have a whole bunch of grots and nurglings carrying him around.
Oh, like a planquin.
Yeah.
Like the Nurgle thing.
Maybe. Might be a bit excessive.
So?
Yeah. All you had to do was say so, and I'm like, you have a point. A lot of my models are a bit excessive anyway. So, right. Need more bits. It never ends, does it? I can't use these feet, they're too big. Trying to slowly organise my parts into little bits they'll be made into. So, leg. What else was that? That also could have been turned into a leg. That's the backpack currently. I can obviously green stuff extra cables and work on there. I need to find a way of bonding it to his shoulders that actually look correct. Yeah, sometimes on the live stream, guys, I just sort of build myself into a corner and not much gets done, and I know that's obviously not very good for entertainment purposes.
But it is the nature of building these thingies.
It is. I think I spent more hours looking at parts trying to figure out how they go together than I do anything else. Ooh, chains. I'm trying to build some kind of symbol there. That's an okay shoulder pad for this model. How to attach this backpack? I was looking at some of the bike parts, thinking about taking out, is it some of where the Chaos have the leather seating, try and make that look like it's a like a leather piece, and then they put the metallic bit over the top, so it's not rubbing against the back. Also might actually enable me to make the shape that I want. It may do. What's in this non-box? And there's this armour. It's not too bad. There's possibilities there.
Possibilities are friendless.
This is the arm from Weird Boy. Custom force field from an old mech.
In a few years I'll have to change the channel name to that.
What?
Old Mech's Workshop.
Yeah. I won't be long. We are getting a bit old round here.
Don't know about getting, mate.
Come on, Bits Box, give me some inspiration. Little objective markers from back in the day. More parts from a Banter. Keep all of those.
Why is not every psychic weapon in the Codex of Grey Knights not anti-demon?
What?
There's only 2 weapons what have actually got the anti-demon keyword.
Really?
Yeah. We're both attached to the same bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Deathcopter bits. Like a bunch of bits. Like, it never ends. Well, I can't help you there, mate, because that doesn't seem to make any sense whatsoever.
No. You know, the anti-demon army.
Yeah, that's like their whole thing.
We kill demons better than everyone else because we have one bloke what can.
They just duplicate him or something.
Be alright if we did. We never bothered our arse.
It's not quite right. Struggling to find something to use as the template for this. Be using some of this at some point on the Black Death Squad probably, or the Black Brigade. Which one will it be? I don't know. Ooh. Okay. That looks like it has potential. if this bit gets taken out. Okay, kind of happy with the way that's going. Never fully happy, you'll notice this, I say that a lot on the channel. It's like, I'm kind of happy with that, because there's always potential for more weirdness. Why do you not fit in there anymore? Oh, there we go. Right. Part of the backpack. Now, can I file this part down? Get this into there. How big scale wise is that next to the other model? That kind of works on its own already with those hooks, but I have to put some straps or something on, I think, to make it look like it holds on there. Or I'll put it that way around and have more bits coming out the side. It makes sense to have the little one attached to the bottom line. Not that anything Orcs ever build, makes any sense. Blue tack usually helps, since I can't hold like 3 or 4 pieces together at once.
The Joy Toy figures, what we're doing for 40k. The large scale models,
yes. We were going to get one a while back.
Yeah, but just but not long since released. We're talking about doing Shrike, Shadow Captain Shrike, or Chapter Master Shrike as he is now. The next one is Mephiston.
Oh. Be interesting.
Looks pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Wow. That's that's a thing that this bloke said.
Oh yeah.
Medical doctor Zakir Naik. You know the one I mean?
Nope.
He's a debater, a religious debater. I would rather kill myself than commit suicide.
Genius.
I mean, if I was next level shit, if I was playing 4D chess or some shit.
Yeah. It's slowly getting there. The other way around. I do like this part. Maybe I could feed that down into there. Touch it that way. No, I prefer that upwards, I think, so I'll have to figure out some form of straps on here. Or some extra armor plating on this model. makes him look a lot bulkier as well. How are we going to attach this? Some more chimneys at the sides as well. Spread the decay. So I won't be using that part, which is a shame, because I don't think it'd work as well on the underneath. Let's see. Yeah, it could do. Potentially I could stick that into his back. And the piping going into the back there. I have to remove most of this part. We need more vents, I think. The one model that's complete in this entire army. I think just putting some time into it though is going to help. More Dakar. Bit more Dakar. Not sure where this arm's come from. Another drill. Oh, he's got an arm off. To change the bit for this drill. It's gone dead quiet in my chat now.
Yeah, mine too.
Time are we on?
3:15.
It's been a bit quiet today. Just going to keep removing a bit of this leg for later work. Ah! Got a bit of plastic in the eye. Ooh! I didn't need to do that. I'm just glad I didn't hit any of the important bit of the model. Let's remove some more of that leg. Bit more of that leg amputated. So how much of your grain outs have you got built?
And this.
It's not too bad. I think at this point I'm considering shutting down the live stream as it's very dead today.
Everybody's dead, Dave.
Oh no. You've been eating off the crew, Dave.
We're all dead, Dave.
You mean to tell me the entire crew of the Red Dwarf is dead? That's what I've been trying to tell you, Dave. I haven't seen the new series of that.
Me neither.
There's a bunch of them.
No, I haven't not seen any since started redoing it.
I'll have to get on to checking that out at some point.
Yeah. I've still not got around to watching the rest of Breaking Bad yet.
You need to, it's fucking brilliant.
I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm just not had opportunity.
Yeah. What's to do with this square bit here?
Pardon me. There it is. Medic. It's quite a useful little character, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a squad medic. Brings one back a turn.
That is handy. So if that goes on there, it's a bit fiddly. I'd have to warp that a lot.
I tell you what, I do like the new objective controlling rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much more easy to understand than previous. So you know how some units had objectives secured and some didn't, and you had to wait.
Kind of, yeah.
Now, each unit has an objective controlling ability as part of their stats. So you work out how many models is on the objective.
Yeah.
You multiply that by the amount by their objective control,
Okay.
and that's how many points you have on it.
Right.
And if your opponent has more, it's their objective.
Okay.
If they don't, it's yours.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Makes sense. And it's dead easy maths as well. It's not like it's fucking crazy stuff. It's like most units of objective control 1 or 2 or something like that.
Ah.
You might have a character what might be 2 or 3.
Yeah, that seems pretty simple.
That's it. And big stuff might be 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That makes sense. So a knight might be objectives control 6.
That makes sense. I mean, it's going to be hard to shift that.
But my unit of cultists, they have 2 each. So if I've got 4 blokes on it, it's my objective.
Yeah.
So much more simple.
I mean, they won't have that objective for very long.
No, because the knight will just go and they'll not be there anymore. But that's a separate issue.
Right, as this live stream's died down and there's no real energy in it, I'm going to shut this down for today, but we should be back tomorrow.
See you later, dudes.